What's up, guys? It's Lefty here. I'm back with another video, and I'm really excited about this one. It's the Masters, my favorite golf tournament of the year. It's the Wednesday before the tournament. I wanted to get this video earlier, but MLB, basketball, the community, it's a lot for one man. I'm a one-man show here. In this video, I'm going to talk about the keys to success for golfers, what I think players will need to do well in order to win. I'll give you some outright winner bets that I've made from each tier that I think have some value. So if you're looking for picks, skip to the end, go for it, I don't care. I'll probably talk about some golfers that I'm staying away from as well. Now, if you've never bet on golf before, I tell you, you're really missing out. You know, a lot of recreational bettors like to risk a small amount of money to win a lot of money, and usually what they do is they'll do parlays, but if you're not already aware, parlays are just truly suckers bets. I've been through it. Most of the members in the community are well aware of this. The math does just not work out. The house edge is just so against you. But with golf, you don't have to win 5 bets in order to get a big payout. Really, there's no other sport where you can risk $5 or $10 and 4 days later win 20x or 30x depending on the golfer. Really the only other bet option I feel like is the futures market, where you could pick like a underdog team, and if they win the championship, you'll get a big payout. But you gotta wait 4 or 5 months in some cases, and plus the entertainment value is unmatched. When your golfers atop the leaderboard on a Sunday, there's nothing like it. But let's see if we can find a golfer for the Masters who will be in the mix on Sunday for us. But you're gonna hear a lot about fast and firm, firm and fast, how this course is playing. Fred Couples just finished his practice round. He says it's as firm and as fast as it's ever been. And he's been playing at Augusta since the 80s. He won in 82, so he has a lot to compare to. Now, this is significant basically because DJ just won in November with a score of 20 under. Now, that's not typical for Augusta. We've seen it really play softer basically in the past 10 years, so I'm weighing course history a lot less, or I should say like past recent success at Augusta less, because of how different the course is likely to play this year compared to years past. And that's all weather permitting as well. If it rains, that's throwing things out the window. But as of now, it looks like it's going to be dry, firm, and fast. And what this means, it just means it's going to play a lot harder. It's going to limit the risk some of these golfers take. It brings in golfers that have more finesse and strategy, or experience is a really big one for me. Knowing which part of the greens you can take on approach, which pins you can go after, which ones you have to play to parts of the greens. Like Tiger once said, it's how you play the course and knowing where to miss are the keys. There's 89 golfers in the field. Actually, I think 88. Former Masters champ Angel Cabrera. I think he's in prison attempting to run his wife down in a car or some crazy shit. I don't know. But who's going to play the best is the real question, I guess. In order to win, you got to have all the tools, but having it all and putting it all together are two completely different things. I talked about experience. Obviously, I want that. Knowing how the winds swirl on some of these holes. Especially number 12. We've seen tons of golf balls get rinsed on 12 by miscalculations of winds. It's a 150-yard par 3. Tiger was smiling as all the balls went into Rays Creek as he escaped with par back when he won. One by one, all the golfers chasing him who, probably didn't have as much experience as him, made the mistake by looking at the flag for the wind direction, when really you have to look at the tops of the trees. And on TV, you really can't tell, but Augusta National is built like on or into a mountain. Tons of elevation changes, big pine trees that block winds on certain holes while, kind of forming wind tunnels on other holes. Augusta doesn't have that defense of being the longest course, because it's one of those older courses, and they've done a good job at maintaining the original layout. Other courses have had to undergo like redesigns to defend against the long hitters, but Augusta does have 2 new tee boxes, so on 5 and 13 they pushed them back a little bit, so it will play a little longer, but And driving distance is important here. In order to get at pin locations, you want to have a short iron in, especially this year with firmer conditions. Um, I actually think that the firmer conditions will close the gap a bit between the longer and shorter hitters. The shorter hitters will get a lot more roll, and um, I normally don't put too much emphasis on accuracy off the tee at the Masters. It's important, but the fairways are just so wide and big here. You really have to be spraying it to get in trouble. But Augusta's primarily known as a second shot golf course. So the emphasis will be on irons, approach shots. We want elite ball strikers. I'm also looking at par 5 scoring average. There's eagles to be made out here at Augusta. You have to capitalize on the par 5s and play them under par. A bogey on a par 5 here, you can basically factor in losing 2.5 strokes to the field right off the bat. Um, Another trend I'm looking at lefty golfers. It's no coincidence 6 of the last 13 winners have all been lefties. And the reason for this is simple. Augusta sets up well for lefties. It's got a bunch of dogleg left holes, which for righties means you have to hit a draw or right to left shot shape, which is the more difficult compared to a fade or a left to right shot shape. So for lefties, the fade or right to left shot shape is easier. And so holes 2, 5, 9, 10, 13, and 14, I believe, are all dogleg lefts, which fit the easier lefty shot shape. So that's pretty much why they've had success. Another interesting trend, I talked about this in the Betting Network Discord community earlier today. If you take all the past winners from the past 25 years, or actually even longer, I stopped at 25, but they all have 3 things in common. Previous top 10 finish at the Masters, they've not missed a cut in their last 4 starts, and they've won an event in their last 9 starts or have 2 top 10 finishes in their last 9 starts. Now it's interesting. There's only 9 golfers in the field that fit this criteria. Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, John Rahm, Daniel Berger, Paul Casey, Ryan Palmer, Corey Connors, Sung J M, and Matthew Fitzpatrick. So if you're looking to just throw a dart and pick a golfer, pick one out of this group. It's probably a good one for outright winners. Now, a big fade for me for this tournament, a guy I'm betting against or just not touching at all. I'm going with Brooks, and one of my buddies in the Betting Network community, Big Meech. He's a big Brooks Koepka fan, so I have to apologize here before I go in on him. But I'm fully aware that since 2017, in majors, he's a combined 83 under par, and that's 50 shots better than the next closest guy in DJ. But the past is the past, and I just can't get over the fact that sportsbooks have him listed as low as 12 to 1 odds. I really think betting Brooks to win it all could possibly be the worst bet you could make. He's admitted his knee is nowhere near 100%. The guy can't even squat down to read putts. And one thing about Augusta that people don't realize is just how massive the layout is. It's not noticeable on TV, but it's just huge. The elevation changes and just the walking distance between holes is crazy. All these things you don't really see on TV, but it requires stamina, conditioning. I really feel like that's going to be the biggest hurdle for Brooks is just, the sheer layout of this place. It's massive. It's like hiking. And I don't see him getting through all 4 rounds. I really don't. There's no flat lies at Augusta. He's going to have some awkward stances, and any shot he takes could tweak his knee. He's super competitive, and in this case, I think to a fault. So, for my first official bet, I have Brooks Koepka missing the cut at plus 300. Now, I have a ton of bets on the Masters. My full official card is listed in the Betting Network Discord community's golf channel. And it would take me forever to go through all the different bets I have, on this video. But I'm going to pick a few and kind of just discuss them. A top 10 finish bet, Webb Simpson at plus 350. I don't know if he has the firepower to actually win, but he checks all the boxes for me. Great short game, probably the best bunker player on tour, not named Phil. Finished 10th back here in November, 5th in 2019, 20th in 2018. The one weakness for Webb, or the one knock on his game, is his length off the tee. But like I said before, I'm weighing driving distance a little less this year because of how firm the course is playing, and it should help him, make up for the lack of distance. Uh, let's go on to some outright winner markets here. Now, I'm not big on betting favorites in golf. I just don't think the favorites win enough, to make up for the times they don't. I try to stick to medium-sized favorites or the longer odds guys, but I do have an outright winner bet on Rahm at plus 1100. He definitely has the game to win here. I think he kind of pulls a page out of Danny Willett's book, who won in 2016 after just days of having his first kid. Rahm has finished in the top 10 in his last three Masters appearances. I'm not going to bore you with all his shots gain metrics, but I'll just say they're really, really good. I think he's built up enough scar tissue here to finally break through. I like the fact he's been close but hasn't won. It's almost kind of needed here at Augusta. Climbing up a little bit, I'm going Cantlay plus 1600 for outright winner. He's played well here at Augusta. He's got a tied 17, T9, past two starts. Really, he was just one bad shot away from winning in 2019, and his game is just so well suited here for success. Solid ball striker, good putter, great touch around the greens. He did miss the cut in the players, but other than that, he's finished no worse than T15 in his four other stroke play events this year. Now, a lot to do with this Cantlay outright bet has to do with just sheer value. I make his odds closer to 12 to 1, but I was able to get him at plus 1600. He's top 5 in strokes gained totaled in 2021 with 1.54 shots gained. That's right up there with Bryson, JT, and Rahm, but you don't have to pay a premium on Cantlay like you do those other guys. Those guys are like 900 plus 1,000, and plus 1,600 on Cantlay is too good to pass up, I feel like. What else here? Lastly, I'm going to go with a long shot here. My guy Phil, the other lefty. Phil Mickelson plus 10,000. He's got the experience, the course knowledge, and I just think Augusta is such a magical place, kind of, that, and it's sort of an equalizer when it comes to young versus old. What the older guys lack in power or athleticism, they make up for in experience and craftiness, but here's a catch with Phil. He doesn't really lack power. He's still got the length and the shots needed to win here. And I really think he has a good shot at a green jacket here. Another one, and his odds of, plus 10,000 is more enough to take a shot on him. $10 to win 1,000, sign me up, I'm taking Phil. And I really like that one. But I'm going to stop here. That's going to do it for my Masters preview. Hope anyone who listened now has a better idea on who to bet. And good luck this week. Hope you all somehow find a way to cash bets.